the motivation is fear, because if you haven't had a dispute, you will. It's inevitable. Every project or every GC or every contractor is going to have a dispute sooner or later. If it hasn't happened yet, it's going to happen. And it's going to cost you a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of headaches, and it could cost you your business.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Ground. We are here with Lee Mills. He is the CEO and co founder of Pixly. And again, I'm your host, Dagan Davis. Lee, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and speak with you today.
Well, one thing we want to know just right off the bat is kind of understanding what you do. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about yourself and then also about your company.
Sure. How much time do I have? I could be kind of long-winded. So I'm
Just just
uh,
just go for it. We'll be all
sure.
right.
I'm the founder, CEO of Pixly. We solve a huge problem for construction by making it easy to document projects with photos, videos, and tags that are automatically shared with everybody on your team or your crew in the field and back in the office. I've been in construction tech for over 12 years. I was very early and helped launch Rakin. I was part of Plan Grid and I launched Cupix, and I've been to hundreds of job sites of every shape and size, from kitchen and bath remodels to ground up hospital builds to office parks to you name it. Pretty much everything but a nuclear power plant, which I would love to see too. Prior to that, I've been in tech for over 25 years. I'm originally from New Jersey. I came to San Diego to be the Navy. I served 4 years on board the USS Constellation CV-64, America's flagship aircraft carrier. I'm a girl dad. I love to surf and ride motorcycles and play golf once in a while. But my main mission, my main focus is on helping people in the field save time, save money, stop the chaos of texting and emailing photos back and forth all day, eliminating, if not reducing disputes, and helping people spend more time with their family doing what they want to do instead of documenting their projects.
Okay, awesome. So, is this just focused? This technology is just focused on construction?
Great question. No, not necessarily. It was built for construction, but we have customers in the insurance industry, and construction is, I love construction because it's such a huge market and there's just such a huge problem to solve. And you can't walk out of your house without seeing a crane or a construction project or somebody driving to one. But buildings have lifespans. They start off as an idea. An owner wants to build something. They hire an architect to design it. Then they hire a general contractor, and that GC hires all these subs. People build it, right? That's great. But then once it's done, it has a lifespan. People move in and out. It needs repair. It needs maintenance, right? And so Pixie is a documentation platform for the whole entire lifespan of the project or the building, so to speak. So we have
Wow.
customers that
Okay.
use us for facility maintenance, and we have customers outside of construction, well, landscape maintenance, pool maintenance. I'm a big fan of using it to document whenever I work and wrench on my motorcycle, so I know what was done and where everything goes back. Like, how do you actually know that that mechanic did your $2,000 valve job? You don't. You just get your
You
car or
don't.
your motorcycle back, and I've been screwed over by that. So there's a bunch of applications for sure.
Yeah, pretty much as long as your motorcycle runs after that, you think that something went well, right?
Right.
So that's really cool that that's to me that's a really good sign of a good technology. And I haven't even used it yet. We're just talking about it right now, but the fact that you guys have been able to be in multiple industries and for multiple applications within one industry really shows that it's a strong technology to me. I'm a technology guy, so I'm very interested in learning more about it. Um, but what originally attracted you? I'm assuming you started in construction with this. Is that correct? With this technology?
Yes. So through my experience of visiting all these hundreds of job sites and being involved in reality capture and seeing the power of 360 reality capture is what really spurred me. And 360 reality capture is really cool. It's really powerful. However, it has a host of problems with it. For one, you have to have a 360 camera. And that camera is either literally on your hard hat, which impacts the safety of your hard hat because you have to have a hole connecting it, or you're holding the camera and you're walking around the job site and you're taking a picture every time you take 5 steps. Now, if you're walking a 5,000, 10,000 square foot job site, that can take a lot of time, right? And then the technology has to mesh all those photos together to create the 360 experience. It's not instant, it's not automatic, but it's slow. All the tools out there are expensive. They require custom quotes. They're hard to use. They require training. And so I was like, man, not every job site needs 360 reality capture. The kitchen and bathroom model doesn't really need that. Pool repair doesn't need that. A custom home doesn't really need that. Complex hospital builds certainly can benefit from that, but they don't need it all day, every day. What they need is something that's really simple, fast, easy, and automatic that the field can adopt with little to no training. And that's why I built Pixly.
Okay. And so these problems bothered you enough, and then you simplified it, right? You put it on is it on a mobile app?
Yep. Yep. So people that have open space, people that have Procore, people that have Autodesk, people that have no software are still to this day, right now, there's tens of thousands of construction people that are texting photos back and forth all day. And that's what we're trying to eliminate it. Yeah. So Pixie works on iPhone, Android, phones, tablets, and there's a desktop version too, and it all syncs. The other problem that we have is construction projects are often funded based on milestones and milestone payments, right? And so either the owner or the PM or somebody's got to go out there to make sure that that milestone was completed, which oftentimes means driving somewhere, sometimes means flying somewhere, right? So you don't have to do that. You can see everything that's done in the field on your phone without any unnecessary travel, which takes up a lot of time and energy and money.
Okay. Yeah, I could see where the money's coming in. So this is truly just a way to organize where all of those pictures would have came in from all these different angles, correct?
Yeah. So one of our customers said it's like Google Photos, Instagram, and Microsoft Teams had a baby for construction. So you organize your photos by your workspace, which is usually your company name, and then you have projects, and you can have unlimited projects. And then within projects, you have albums, and you can have public albums or private albums. So I might have a private album just for me because maybe something's going sideways. Um, Not that that ever happens on a job site, but otherwise, everything's visible to everybody that's invited to it. And you can also share Pixie with people outside of your workspace with a text link so they can see anything in a really beautiful album view. They can't tap on it or tag on it or annotate on it or do all the features, but they can view it. And so we make it super simple to share and eliminate the chaos of constantly texting or WhatsApp groups because, a dispute could be today. Disputes happen every single day. Somebody's late. Something was still delivered wrong. The drywall guy is holding up the electrician, or the rough-in guy is holding up the foundation. There's just so many things, but also a dispute can happen next week or next month or up to 10 years from now. And good luck trying to find your photo on your phone mixed with your kids, your golf, your truck, or whatever else. And just last week, I met a guy who's like, man, I wish I had this. I was fumbling through my phone for 30 minutes trying to show a potential customer a photo of my work. And it was mixed with all his personal photos. Also, phones run out of storage. They break on the job site all the time. People quit, there's high turnover. So yeah, everything's in one safe, secure cloud, encrypted. Nobody can see it, not even myself, and it's my company. And it's instantly automatically shared with time, date, and location stamps. And then what people really love about Pixly is you can tap on a photo and you can tag it. So a tag could be pre-existing conditions, foundation, framing, plumbing, electrical, whatever. And those are also time, date, location stamped. And you can use them as a punch list tool. So I could assign an electrical panel repair to you, notified in the app via email that you have that punch list item to do. And that's all tracked with open and assigned tasks.
Yeah, that sounds very very intriguing to, leadership, especially because of all of these aspects that are happening on the site and being able to keep everything very organized. What do you say to a leader that's just using Google Drive, for example, and just kind of keeping everything organized within Google Drive, which also has an app? How would you how would you come in and convince a leader that because we have a lot of leaders in construction that are watching this show. What would you say to them that, hey, this is just going to make your life 10 times easier?
Well, I don't necessarily. tell them things, I ask them things like, is that a real workflow? And how much time do you spend on that workflow? And is it an efficient use of your time? And and it's not really a workflow. A workflow is you go to the job site, you open up Pixly, and you take your daily progress photos before when the day starts and when the day ends, and you do it every day, and you have them automatically organized with everybody on the project, in every aspect of the project, and then the time, date, location stamp. Yes, there's other tools that do that for sure, but our patented tagging system for punch list stuff is what really sets us apart, and the ability to share, and the fact that the app requires little to no training is also what sets us apart. So if they want to save time, if they want to save money, if they want to save chaos, and they want to have everything better organized than any other tool that there is out there, Pixie's the path.
Okay, so if this if this if these types of photos are not documented, or not saved, not organized, and they can't be found, have you guys done any kind of studies on what kind of money is lost in this arena?
There are studies out there, hundreds of millions of dollars, but there is documented case studies that 30% of projects have disputes that lead to litigation. And the
Okay.
average litigation cost is in the millions of dollars. So, and I like to promote or market or share Pixie on the value of saving time, saving money, saving headaches, stopping the chaos, but really, um, the motivation is fear, because if you haven't had a dispute, you will. It's inevitable. Every project or every GC or every contractor is going to have a dispute sooner or later. If it hasn't happened yet, it's going to happen. And it's going to cost you a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of headaches, and it could cost you your business. And delays on any project impact profits. And some projects work on really, depending on the size and scope of it, very thin margins. You can't afford to have delays. You can't afford to risk your profits because they put your business at risk, right? Then there's the whole
Right.
safety thing too. So, safety never takes a holiday, and construction is one of the most dangerous jobs that there is. And it's really important to document safety concerns or safety issues before somebody gets hurt. And that's just a whole nother use case for Pixel.
Okay. On the so on let's just say when you start talking to someone about this who's interested, right? Who's interested in the Pixley product. What what are you seeing? Are you seeing that they prioritize photos on the job site, or are you introducing that to them? Like, is that already there that they are keeping documentation on the photos, or is that
Yeah.
something new coming in with your product?
Well, to be clear, we do photos, we also do videos. And again, tagging is really important. So most people do take photos, but they don't always take them consistently. And it's not always like a standardized workflow, but pretty much everybody does take some sort of photos. They might not do them every day, although they should. They should take them every single day, but at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, and also for milestones and issues and everything else. But for the most part, everybody is taking some form of photos, but it's usually like in a WhatsApp group, it's in a text group. And if you have multiple projects, then you have multiple text groups, and pardon my language, it's a blank show, right? And so it's just chaos. Instead of scrolling and searching, you can easily find everything because it's already organized by project, by team, by location, and you can find whatever you need by date, by location, by person, or by tag. So again, it's like a private Instagram or Google Photos. Instagram and Microsoft Teams had a baby, and it's just a much better solution that's purpose built for the field that doesn't require any training. So for a while, like, and I still like to do this. I like to call every single person that's downloading and trying the app to introduce myself or ourselves in our growing team, but to really find out why they're using it or why they need a better solution. And it's usually because they've lost a dispute, or they're wasting too much time, or there's too much text messages. But ultimately, Pixie set up that people can sign up on their own and self-service themselves. We just had someone from Pulte Group, which is the nation's third largest home builder, sign up and start using Pixly. And she's stoked. And she said she's been looking for something like this for years. And so once we find somebody like that that's a champion, they help us expand the account or grow users all on their own, right?
Okay. So I have a question for you. I know you mentioned that Pixly does photo and video. What would be the difference? How would you decipher whether you're taking a photo or a video on the job site?
Yeah, that's great. So basically, when you're in the app, you can just toggle between photo and video capture when you're capturing. But the difference is a video has audio, right? So a photo could be worth 1,000 words and $1 million. A video could be worth a million words and even more. It depends on what you're trying to capture. But whenever you do take a photo and you add a tag or take comments, you can do voice to text comments, which works really, really, really well.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Lee, we're going to take a quick commercial break here, and then we will be right back.
Awesome. Thank you.
Every job site comes with pressure. Deadlines stacking, crews moving, jobs depending on you. But behind the scenes, everything slows down. Quotes and bids, calls, service tickets, even admin work stacks up. With high-level talent, you can hire remote staff to fill the traditional office positions at half the cost, so your team can focus on what actually makes money. Scale your operation without scaling your overhead. High-level talent. Visit highleveltalent.com today to learn more.
And we're back to our episode of Breaking Ground with Lee Mills, the CEO and co-founder of Pixly. Lee, again, thanks for joining us. We're happy to be back here. And what we wanted to do is just kind of go right into pricing after this. So, can you explain the pricing model behind this app?
Yes, anybody's welcome to try it for free. There's no credit card required. You can find us really easily in the app stores. We have several different pricing options. We have unlimited Pixly Pro, which is unlimited projects, unlimited photos, unlimited storage for $99 a month for 4 users, which works out to $24.99 a month, which was less than a cup of coffee a day, cup of coffee a day, instant, immediate ROI. We do have project-based pricing. We have Sharp Hospital San Diego is using us on a 10-year, $500 million expansion project. So we have project-based pricing if you want to look into that. And we also have enterprise-based pricing too. One of our largest customers is Kitchen Saver Bath Saver, and they use Pixly on 600 projects a week. And we save them 45 minutes a day per project. And because they have over 300 users, we have discounted pricing options for bigger companies like that. So per user, project based, or enterprise are all options.
Wow, that's you got some big projects, big clients going on. That's good to hear.
Yes, sir.
Are you guys utilizing AI at all within the platform?
Yes, I'm really glad you mentioned that. The reason our domain is .ai is on purpose. So we have a proof of concept that we're getting ready to release. So right now you take a photo, you can tag it. A tag can be anything you want. Customizable tags, which can be used to assign and track tasks or punch lists. And that's in the near future all going to be done by AI. So we'll automatically recognize what the photo is of. It's of scaffolding. It's of a sliding door. It's of concrete. It's of a dishwasher. It's of whatever it is. And then ultimately, it's like what's wrong inside the photo, waterproofing, or there's a crack in the concrete, and then it'll assign it to the appropriate sub or person on your team. So that's something that's in development. And then we're also building an AI job site walk. So you open up Pixely and you walk around your job site. You'll take photos and talk into it, and the AI will match what you're saying to the time you took the photo and spit out a daily report.
Okay, great. Great. So, are there any other things on the horizon with Pixly that you guys are looking forward
Absolutely.
to?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We're also building a blueprints and drawing feature. So right now in the app, you can see your photos or videos in a list view or a grid view, and soon will be a plan view. So remember, I came from Plan Grid, and I think there's a huge hole left from when they were acquired by Autodesk. And so in the near future, you'll be able to upload your plans and pin photos and videos and tags to the blueprints. I'm so excited about that. And then in addition to that, we'll be offering customizable forms, so any type of inspection report, daily report, company branded report you already have, you'll be able to attach Pixely photos with that. So we're the tool for capturing, sharing, organizing, managing, finding, searching of your visual assets for the lifespan of the building, right? Not just construction, but once it's done and built and people move in and out and everything else. And we're not building what I want. I'm building the features that our customers want. And that's what people have been asking for.
Okay, great. Yeah, so taking the feedback from the customers, the current customers, and learning what they need, and then extending that to all the new customers coming in. That's great.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And so, if someone's dragging their feet on this, which I'm sure happens from time to time, this just seems like to me, this seems like a home run, like something that you need, something that is honestly generally inexpensive and very helpful compared to the problem that it's solving. And so, what kind of, I guess, where are you seeing, or what are people saying when they're dragging their feet, when they're not ready to move forward? What are some of the things that you're hearing that keeps them from moving forward with you guys?
So objections, we have no objections. I'm just kidding. Sometimes, sometimes it's because they're waiting for a new project to start, or they're in between projects, or they have another solution and they're waiting for that subscription to expire. So I also want to point that out. So if you have your photos in another solution, we will migrate them over to Pixly for you. And depending on the customer and the need, we can have some type of rebate program too. But to answer your question directly, it's usually they're in between projects, or they have a solution that they're stuck with until the subscription runs out. And they don't want to have two things at one time. We do have one main competitor that will go unnamed, but we crush them on price and value and usability. And that's how we'll migrate. If you're worried about anything that you have in a legacy system, we can bring it over for you. So it's legacy systems, other subscriptions, or between projects. It's never price. And our price will be going up soon. When we add those features, our costs are going to go up. So our price will go up a little bit. And the other one feature we're going to be building is the capture with the LiDAR camera, which I talked about too. So LiDAR, blueprints and drawings, forms, and the AI. But right now, Pixley saves a massive amount of stress, time, money, reduces the worry about disputes, stops the chaos of text and email, put all your stuff in a secure place, separate it from your family photos, your truck photos, your off-roading photos, maybe your cat photos, and never worry about a dispute again.
Do you guys charge any migration fee for what you were talking
It,
about previously?
it depends on the amount of data. So
Okay.
if it's under 10,000 photos, no. If it's over 10,000 and more than a couple dozen projects, it can, and it depends on the tool. And it also depends on the customer. So sometimes no, sometimes yes, but it's minimal.
Okay. Yeah. I could see if, an enterprise company is signing up with you under the enterprise, one of the enterprise plans, maybe you're waiving some of that, correct?
Yes, and let me
Okay.
also point out that Pixely is approved to integrate with Procore, Autodesk, and others. So those are great platforms, and they do everything, but they don't do everything well, and they don't do photos well. So if you're a Procore user or a Autodesk customer, you can use Pixie for capturing, sharing, storing, organize all that stuff. It will have it sync back to your master system, but we make it easier to capture so you get more content and more better documentation.
Okay, great. So let's go back to you and your career. So can you kind of take us through like how did this idea come about? I know we touched on that at the beginning, but let's circle
Sure.
around.
Yeah, there's a couple ways it happened. For one, when I was much younger, my parents had some investment properties in Florida that they managed from Indiana, and it was nothing but a disaster with people moving in, moving out, and repairs. So I remember that, and they lost money on that, and it was detrimental to their retirement. That's one thing. And then later in my career, I did a bunch of B2B SaaS stuff, and a friend of mine was the co-founder for Raken, and Raken does construction daily reports, and they were just getting started. It was him, the CEO. and my very good friend doing customer success that was my former intern at a Yelp competitor. And they're like, "Hey, Lee, come check this out. We're doing construction daily reports and we're on to something and we need some marketing help." I'm like, "Great." And I told them all the things they needed to do. And they're like, "That's great, but we need somebody to do it." I'm like, "All right, well, you're my friends. I'll help you." So I started calling construction superintendents and project managers. And that's when I had my aha moment. These are my people. These are proud Americans. They answer the phone. They're very direct or no nonsense. They need help. Daily reports is a really big deal, still is. Everybody should be doing a daily report every day. And I decided to jump in feet first. So I built a raking team. I hired the first two couple salespeople, launched sales and marketing, all those things. And part of my go to market is always partner with bigger companies. And at that time, that's when PlanGrid had just raised a large amount of money from Sequoia, a world-class VC, which led to me joining PlanGrid. So I was early and helped build a Rake-In playbook, and I was part of the PlanGrid playbook. That led to me being a fractional chief marketing officer for QPix that does 360 reality capture. And it's all those experiences and all those job sites and all those superintendents and project engineers and PMs and owners that made me realize that there's a real opportunity and need. Like ultimately, my what I want to do is help people spend less time on the job site so they can go home sooner and spend time with their kids. My parents were never around because they were working all the time. With less stress on the job site and just make it easier to document everything with photos, videos, tags, all the things we do, so they can enjoy their lives.
Well, that's really cool. I like that it's rooted. I mean, maybe it wasn't so cool for you when you were growing up that it was rooted from, a problem. But that's really cool to see that it came from, your childhood and everything kind of stemmed from that. And then through your experience, right? You just didn't go right into it. You got the experience and then you found a way to make it happen, which is, you know, ultimately every entrepreneur's experience, right? And so
Yeah,
that
make it
that's
happen.
great.
Well, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's great. I'm really proud. We have close to 5,000 users. We have dozens of customers of every shape and size, from large hospitals to large kitchen and bath remodel companies to a lot of specialty subs. We've got guys that are specialty concrete, electrical, HVAC, roofing, you name it. I'm proud and honored to help them and serve them truly.
Yeah, that's great. And so I come from marketing as well. So sales and marketing. And so what I really have been meaning to ask here is on your app, can that do do they own the photos that they're putting on the app? And then can they repurpose that for their own internal marketing, promoting, training, anything outside of just having the record of documentation?
Yes, 100%. We're the platform for capturing, sharing, storing, organizing, managing, all of that is not our content. Again, I can't see anybody's content. It's all encrypted. Like I can't see anything. So the content belongs to the customer. And the content can be exported at any time as a PDF. They can export by workspace, by project, by album, or by photo. They can ultimately, the whole idea is as our platforms for documenting and collaborating. So we want everybody inside Pixly, but you can also share it with people outside of Pixly via text link. They can view, but they can't do all the cool annotation, tagging, commenting, all that other stuff. But yes, make no mistake, the content belongs to the customer 100%. It always does, it always will. It's not our content. We're just a platform for capturing, sharing, storing, organizing, managing. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can see cross departments utilizing this in many different ways. If
Yes.
it,
Let me
you know,
can I touch on that really quick?
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so large companies like Kitchen Saver, so they use it for quality control, right? They can't go out the PMs can't go to 600 projects every week, right? It would be cost prohibitive. So they do it to monitor their technicians' work, their quality of the work, for warranty claims, for promotions, for everything else, and for proof of work ultimately. So that's really, really important. And we do have customers that use it for marketing. So what's the best way to market your construction project? To show before and after photos from the beginning to the end,
Exactly.
right? And milestones. So yeah, it's definitely it's at its core, it's for pre-existing conditions, progress, milestones, issues, completion for the owner, for the architect, for the GC, for the subs, but absolutely for marketing.
Okay. Awesome. I can see a lot more value poured into it, because then it can be used for all those different departments, which is great. Say you got safety, you got marketing, you got the estimating bidding team.
Yes.
There's a lot of value there, which is very awesome.
Yeah, so on
So
the estimating side, really, really quick, there's a very, very, very large, heavy civil GC that has every possible software solution under the sun at their fingertips. But their estimating team goes out to the field to take a bunch of photos and they put them in a shared folder drive, and that's it. And that's not a workflow.
mm, yeah. That's true. And, that's a lot of money too, because you're sending your team that should be working on bids out to the site. Yes, it's nice for them to see the site and be on the site and understand the business, but at the same time, you can get that visual, but they can also get that remotely through
Correct.
through photos and even videos, like you said.
Correct. Especially if you're doing hundreds of estimates a year. I mean, there's a lot of cost there.
Yep, yep, exactly. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up here. I have one final question, and then I'll turn it to you to promote whatever you're looking to promote. But um, my final question here for you is mainly as an entrepreneur, especially a construction tech entrepreneur. There may be some other aspiring entrepreneurs listening right now, whether it's in construction or elsewhere. We can pull a crowd from the entire YouTube, economy. So it just depends. But as an entrepreneur, what would be your greatest advice at just taking that plunge? If you have something where there's a problem, you can figure out a solution to that and present that to the world. What's your biggest advice?
Don't do it. I'm just kidding. You have to be prepared to risk it all, everything. Like yeah, I've put everything, my life savings, my 5 years of my life, like I've missed out on a lot because I believe in this and what we're doing. And I want to help. You have to come from a good place. But the biggest piece of advice is talk to people and talk to potential customers before you do anything to make sure that they will not only buy it, not only like it, but buy it. Friends and family, that's great. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. You need to talk to absolute strangers that are your target customer and show them early designs, even if it's just drawn on a piece of paper, and make sure you validate what you're going to do before you do it, because you do not want to go down the path of wasting time, money, energy, trying to raise capital, all these things for people that aren't going to buy your product. So before I started Pixly, I met with a lot of my former customers and told them about the idea and if they would do it and buy it and use it. And they did, and I had several write letters of intent that helped me raise capital. So that's my biggest piece of advice is like, just make sure you have a market for it and you have people that'll pay for it and buy it and get them to write letters of intent that can help you tremendously. I'd be very wary of offshore development teams. I would also say always get three proposals. I'd say for anything, whether that's a web design, product engineering, UI, UX, what have you, that's just good business sense. I would also say I think the world's changed a lot and people could do vibe coding and all that stuff, and that's great. But I'm not sure those are scalable businesses because that code can go sideways really, really, really quick. Make sure you understand your cost of goods, and just make sure you're willing to risk it all because it's not easy. I mean, it's awesome and it can be fun, it can be rewarding, but it can be incredibly hard, incredibly lonely. And the hardest thing, I've done a lot of hard things in my life, and nothing's been harder than this. But also, nothing's ever been more rewarding. And some days, literally the same day, I could have the best high of a pilot project with a massive GC and the lowest of the low 5 minutes later. So it's not for the faint of heart. And be very careful about how you go about it financially. Keep your job until the business can afford to support you and your family, and always put your family first. Don't risk your family over it
Well, that's
for
that's some
yourself.
great advice. And go ahead. What was that
or your
final thing?
health, or
Or your
your
health,
health.
yeah,
It's very
that's a big
stressful.
one.
So like I make it a point to go to the gym a couple times a week and do yoga. And I have like a specific mindfulness practice because it's very stressful, like insanely stressful.
Yeah, well, it's a roller coaster, like you said. You could have a really, really good uh moment. We could have this recording, everything goes great. And then, I have an email when I get off and it's something negative. And so, yeah, it could be that high and low, like you said. And so that's very important. But give it a try. Just what you're saying, do it in a smart way.
Yeah, do your research. Just do your research. Make sure there's a market for it, and make sure there's people that will buy it that are not your friends and family, because those people, we love them, we need them, they're important to us. They're usually going to tell us what we want. Just validate it, and not with like one person. Like talking about like with 100. Yeah, and look at how much competition is out there too, right? And look and see if there's a whole. I could go on and on about this, but also see if there's anybody that has a patent that you're infringing on before you try your idea.
Well, I
Uh,
I think what we should do is maybe we should talk a little bit after this and maybe have you on another time for another episode and just talk about the entrepreneurship side of things.
sure,
I
happy
think
to.
we could probably fill an entire episode for that as well.
100% we can, and then some.
Awesome. Well, Lee, thanks again for joining us. I really appreciate it. Lee is the CEO and co-founder of Pixly again, and he is, we're going to have in the description. We're going to have his link to the website, and then anything else. Is there anything you would like to add before we get going here?
Yeah, I would say anybody that's been listening to this or watching this and signs up for Pixly in the next 30 days, I'll give them a 15% discount.
Okay, great. We'll definitely drop that in the description as well, so that everyone can see that visibility. But yeah, that's awesome. I really appreciate it, Lee, and thanks for your time.
Thank you too. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Every job site comes with pressure. Deadline stacking, crews moving, jobs depending on you. But behind the scenes, everything slows down. Quotes and bids, calls, service tickets, even admin work stacks up. With high-level talent, you can hire remote staff to fill the traditional office positions at half the cost, so your team can focus on what actually makes money. Scale your operation without scaling your overhead. High-level talent. Visit highleveltalent.com today to learn more.